The all-new 7th generation BMW 5 Series is now on sale in Australia. Brings with it a conservative new design and loads of the latest technology. But the G30's got some pretty big shoes to fill, as well as some very stiff competition from the new Mercedes-Benz E-Class. This is our first local drive, so come with us as we find out if the new 5 was worth the wait. Well, let's set the scene. A new 5 Series is a pretty big deal for BMW. The nameplate goes back 45 years, it's older than me, back to 1972 where the E12 launched. That was followed by the E28, which my dad had and I had, the E34, the E39, E60, F10, and now here with the G30. This car is bigger, it's longer, wider and taller than the outgoing car, but it is lighter thanks to the use of new and more advanced materials. Well, first impressions in the interior of the G30, this is a BMW. If you're familiar with the brand, you're going to feel right at home. Everything feels very familiar, but it is a much more modern implementation and closer to the 7 Series than what we saw in the old 5 Series. Now, there are 4 models at launch, 2 diesels, 2 petrol. This is the mid-range 530i petrol in luxury line. And it's funny because this car comes with the M Sport package as a no-cost option. Now, while you lose the M Sport styling on the outside, the luxury line gets a bit of extra chrome trim. You still get 19-inch wheels, although this car's riding on 20s. But the inside is where you notice it the most. There's the leather stitched dash, the soft nappa leather seats, and these are the comfort seats too, which are usually an upgrade option. There's quad zone climate control and even seat ventilation as standard. It really is a very comfortable interior, and it looks good too, particularly in the brown that we've got in our car. Most of the materials do feel really nice, except some of the lower dash plastics there could be a bit better, but to be honest, that's trying to pick holes. Now, although the G30 is a bigger car, it doesn't feel it. Vision, both out the front, the sides and the rear, is all very good. And one nice feature too is the almost frameless rear view mirror, which again lifts the feel of the cabin even higher and closer to the 7 Series. And lately, the focus on all of this technology seems to be on collision mitigation rather than occupant safety after the fact. This car not only can avoid vehicles in front, it detects cross streets, rear cross traffic, side impacts, even knows if you're going the wrong way down a one-way street. Now, front and centre on the dash is the familiar 10.25-inch iDrive display, except this car's now running the newest version 6 of the iDrive software, which is what we've seen in the 7 Series. This includes such functionality as a touchscreen on the screen itself, as well as gesture control, which is a pretty cool party trick. You can move your hand around like that to lift the volume up and down, but it is more of a distraction while you're driving than just using the volume buttons on the wheel or even the knob down here on the console. I will say though, the parking camera is an absolute standout. You can create a view that shows you from outside the vehicle looking back and then pan that around. It's one of the most clever systems we've ever seen, and really hope to think that anyone with the new 5 Series is never even going to scratch their wheels ever again. Now, also being a large executive sedan, you're more than likely to be carrying passengers from time to time and even putting some stuff in the boot. So let's pull over and check out the space back there. Well, back here, there's still plenty of room. My toes may be getting a little squeezed, but I've got good knee room and headroom. This seat is in the same as my driving position, and I'm 6'4". The nappa leather too is very, very comfortable, and the back of the 5 Series feels very luxurious. In the centre, you've got twin accessory outlet ports and heating and cooling controls. Cup holders here in the centre armrest, but disappointingly, there are no rear USB points. And in a modern car and a modern age, it's something that buyers are increasingly looking for. There are 2 ISOFIX points on both outside seats, which can fold 40, 20, 40, this middle one offering a ski port access to the boot. Speaking of which, now the boot size is up about 10 litres on the old car to 530 litres, about the same as an E-Class. It's quite a configurable space, as we saw with the seats folding before. There's a couple of storage cubbies as well, but there's no underfloor storage or even a spare tyre, because the G30, like many other BMWs, runs on run flats. So things are looking pretty good so far, but this is a BMW 5 Series, the ultimate driving machine. So let's take it out on some of these winding roads and see if the G30 can live up to its name. Under the bonnet of the 530i is a very familiar 2-litre 4-cylinder with twin-scroll turbocharging technology. It's basically the same as we find in the 330i, except here power, still at 185 kilowatts, comes on a little bit earlier at 5200 RPM. Torque remains the same at 350 Newton meters with a very usable torque band between 1400 and about 4800 RPM. A lot of numbers, I know, but what it means is that this car's got a really nice, easy to use power band, and it's pretty efficient as well. Not bad for a 2-litre. Now, we've been driving in a mixture of comfort and sport settings today, and the car has remained composed and compliant even on some undulating country roads. The sports setting, it's not harsh and sharp like you'd find in perhaps an M car, but it's still comfortable enough and still direct and communicative enough that you expect from a BMW. Steering too, it's nice and light, it's a new wheel, it feels good, but this is still a driver-focused car. Now, BMW claim that the 530i is good for around 5.5 litres per 100 on petrol. If that's too much for you, can go for the 520 diesel, which is around 4 litres per 100 on a combined cycle. Again, pretty impressive. In all, as a luxury executive sedan, the new 5 Series, well, it's kind of ticking all the boxes. It feels luxurious, it feels comfortable, there's good space, and yet it still feels like a BMW. If the 530i isn't enough for you though, there's the 250 kilowatt 6-cylinder 540i, but for me, I say, bring on the M5.